Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about dealing with bad body image and increasing your self-esteem and your confidence within yourself and your body, because this is such a common issue amongst women and amongst men due to the beauty standards of cultures that are put on us, and it can be different beauty standards across the world, and it's something that most of my clients struggle with. Well, actually all of them struggle with this, including the male clients that I have. So I wanted to do a video on my top tips to help you deal with that negative body image. So I'm going to talk about how you can deal with these insecurities that you get and these feelings that you get and thoughts that you get in your head about your own body, and hopefully my advice will help you improve that and make you feel better and more confident in day-to-day life. So I'm going to run through about 10 tips, so take note, write it down, whatever, and try these tips out, and I really hope that it helps you. So some examples of bad body image are things like, ugh, I hate the way that my skin looks, or I hate my cellulite, I don't like my stretch marks, why are my arms like this? Why do I look like this in these clothes? Or I wish I could wear this sort of style clothes because it's in fashion, but I can't because I don't like my body. It's comparing yourself to other people, lots and lots of different things. If your body shape changes slightly because you're maybe not eating enough or eating too much, criticizing yourself, comparing yourself to others, going on social media, looking at other body types and trying to aspire to them and get them, even if it means being unhealthy. So they are just some examples of bad body image. So if you enjoy this video and you like the tips that I give you, don't forget to give the video a like, and also if you are not subscribed already, please do subscribe and support me. The button is just below, and obviously if you find this video helpful and know anyone that it might help, then do share it with other people. Hope you guys enjoy it. So my first tip is to practice gratitude. By this I mean write down the things that you do like about yourself. Now you might be thinking, oh, I don't know what to write, I don't like that many things, but this isn't about looks. This can be, I'm good at being on time, I'm good at cooking, I'm a good friend, I'm caring. I bet you can think of a lot of positive things that are not about your looks and about you as a human and how you are. Maybe you're environmentally conscious and that's a really positive trait, or you're respectful to other people, whatever it might be. There are positive things I'm pretty sure that you've got that you can write down. So I want you to pick at least 10 things, and then I want you to put them on some post-it notes and stick them around your bedroom, bathroom, house if you want to as well. If you live with anyone, tell them that this is really important for your journey and you're going to do it. And even if you've got kids can join in too. It's a great thing for them to learn. And a really good place is mirrors and doorways, because we go through doorways a lot, so every time you open the door you'll see the post-it note, every time you look in the mirror you'll see it. And I want you to try and read these things to you. And remember, they don't have to be about looks, like I said, but you could write something like, I've got lovely thick hair, or I really like my eyes, my lips, my nose, whatever it might be. So write those things down, put them on a post-it note and put them around your house. It's really, really important, because when you practice gratitude, it makes you realise the things that you need to be grateful for and stop those criticising thoughts. Now, if you're really struggling with this point, ask a friend. Ask one of your closest friends or a partner or a sibling or your mother or father, and ask them, what good qualities do you have? And I know that your friends will definitely have some things to write about you or say about you, because they're friends and they obviously like you for a reason. So that if you do struggle, ask your friends. Now, number 2, my tip for dealing with body image links to the last one. So that list that you've written, I want you to also write it in a journal. And then what I want you to do is, when you've written those points down, I want you to write how it makes you feel writing those things down. So do you feel uncomfortable? Does it feel strange writing positive things about yourself? Do you find it hard to believe those things? So if your friend says you're a great friend and you're really caring, do you find it hard to believe that? I want you to see what comes up for you, because it's really, really important to address these feelings and see what comes up if it's hard to say positive things. Because obviously if you've been saying negative things in your head all your life, so depending on your age, that can be a very long time, then you're going to have a lot of work to undo, and it might make you feel uncomfortable writing these positive things down. So write them down, see what comes up and write down what makes you feel uncomfortable. Does it feel weird saying positive things? So that is tip number 2. So I need you to then repeat these affirmations that you've written in your journal and in your post-it notes every day. You need to do it a lot. It's like having an MOT for a car or a service for a car. It needs to be checked all the time. You don't want it going wrong, so you want to be constantly adding to this list. Whenever you think of something, if someone compliments you, add that to the list. And by the end of the year, you could have a big list of positive things when you think of all the nice things that people say to you. Maybe your job is a customer-facing job, or you work with people. See what your customers say about you, or the feedback they give, or your manager gives you. What do people say that's nice about you? Add that to your list. Keep updating it, just like I said, like a car has an MOT, we keep updating it, we keep it in check. Do the same with you. So my 3rd tip is a big one. Now this is to do with social media, the media, and the kind of brainwashing and stuff that goes into your head, because we see it all the time. This isn't just social media, obviously this is the media as well. So models, photo shoots, like all the things we see, billboards when we're buying clothes. Now every country has their own beauty standard. So the West, America, the UK, Australia, we're quite similar with our beauty standards. But then you look at Japan and they've got a totally different beauty standard, but they do have one. So looking at what your beauty standard is for your country and your culture, have a look at it and see what it says. Like, see what is so how you know what your beauty standard is see what is prioritised. So I'm going to talk about my country, but in my country what is prioritised is smooth skin, no cellulite, no stretch marks, can't be fat, can't be too thin, having a small waist but big hips, having a big bum, having abs, having a thigh gap. There's a lot of things. This is obviously females. Men would be 6-pack, being big, not being skinny, being tall. Oh, another one is having good skin, no pores, no acne, no spots. Now, when you've looked at this and you've written this down, I would then want you to ask yourself if it's realistic. Is it realistic to have all of these things? And the answer is no. It is impossible, unless you are being photoshopped, or you're a model who's on a strict diet all the time, being paid to do it, has got a personal trainer, has got time for all of this, or you're very lucky with genetics, your hormones are good. Like, there's so many variables. Bone structure. If you don't have the right bone structure, you cannot physically have a thigh gap or hip dips, or not have hip dips. It depends on your pelvis. So yeah, anatomy is it's a huge thing. So ask yourself whether it's realistic. Is it realistic for you to achieve all of those things, regardless of whether you had all the time in the world to train and eat right? Is it actually realistic? So then, when you've figured this out, I want you to become more aware. Realise that it is impossible for you to have all of these things, and I want you to be careful who you follow on social media, and not so much even who you follow. You can follow people who look different to you. I think it's great that we constantly, we all look different, so you should be able to follow people who do look differently to you. But what you need to remember is that you can't look like everyone, so keeping that in mind, don't compare yourself to others. That is your ego doing that. Your ego wants you to be better, wants you to have an identity. So your ego makes you compare to others, but try and stop that. Don't compare to others. You are you. Focus on you, your body shape, your body type, your genetics, your bone structure, your hormones, all of these things, which will affect how you look. Because obviously if you're suffering from acne or bad skin, that's to do with your insides. It's like totally different to, say, example, me. I haven't so far in my life suffered from acne, and that's probably to do with my genetics as well. Obviously you can change your diet and things like that, but just be careful of who you're comparing. And remember, Instagram, models, all of this, so much of it is photoshopped. I obviously was a model, well, you may not know, but I was a full-time model for 6 years in the fashion industry. So I was doing big jobs, big photo shoots, big companies constantly. And you see the before and after pictures. So I was obviously there having my photos taken, and then you see the billboard afterwards and the photos in the magazines. And they airbrush you, they take out moles, they take out freckles, they've even taken out my earrings before when I've had earrings in. It's amazing what they can do. They've changed the colour of my hair. So stretch marks, cellulite, all of that can be taken out. So you need to remember that when looking at social media and the media. So following on from that, my next tip is don't punish yourself for your flaws. So if you have hip dips, for example, which according to our beauty standard is not good, don't punish yourself for that. Like, it's not your fault, it's you, it's okay, and it's not possible to have all of these things, correct? Or if you've got skin that's not so great, don't punish yourself. It's great that all humans are different. That's what makes it so great. Imagine if we all looked exactly the same. So we all had airbrush skin, you know, a small waist, big hips, thigh gap, we all looked identical, nice lips, big eyes, whatever it is, good skin. The world would be so boring. It's nice that we have so many different varieties of humans. So remember that and keep that in mind. Now, my next tip is really, really important, and I think this is such a key thing for women, is do not sacrifice your future health for the now just to look nice. So do not sacrifice your future health for the now just to look nice. Now, what I mean by this is future health can be things like, you know, too much Botox or whatever can have a damaging effect, because obviously Botox is a toxin, it's toxic for our body. So you want to look nice now and not have many wrinkles or have big lips, but you're sacrificing your future health for that. Another example is extreme dieting. So eating minimal calories and not having a good balanced diet to look nice can impact your future health. Or having all these, you know, loads and loads of unhealthy foods. So like, as in, you can buy all these diet foods, you know, now these days, like diet this, diet that, but we don't know the implications of a lot of those foods, and a lot of them have chemicals and processed things in them, and this can affect your future health, leading to things, I mean, they've already shown studies in rats and mice about like sweeteners and stuff, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancers, and all in the sake of like looking a certain way now. Or extreme running, say you're trying to get skinny, so you're going running every day, but it's really hurting your knees and your ankles, but you're like, I must lose weight, I must lose weight. No, because that is going to damage your future health just to look nice now. Who cares? One day we're all going to be old and wrinkly. So don't sacrifice yourself. Another thing I see a lot of people doing is overtraining. So overdoing it with the weights or whatever. I see this in the gym with a lot of men who prioritise lifting really, really heavy to look a certain way, yet they can't stretch, they've got no mobility, they've got no flexibility, all because they want to look big now, and that obviously fits the beauty standard for men, but then they don't think about the future when they've got back pain because they've been deadlifting way too heavy, or shoulder issues because they've been, you know, doing way too heavy shoulder presses and not focusing on their form. So that is a really, really important point. So my next tip is talk it out. Talk to a professional. So if you actually are overweight or underweight and you actually do have some health issues, go to a professional who works in that industry and can help you. Don't buy some detox teas or do a fad diet or follow a program that you paid £10 for online. Go to a professional, spend the money. They are trained in that area and they can help you. And if they are the right coach, they might help you with your body image too. So I obviously am a coach, so if you want to work with me for weight loss, weight gain, all that sort of stuff, I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach, all qualified and insured, and I'm also training to be a life coach / basic counsellor, so I'm working in body image as well, so I'm doing neuralistic programming, self-hypnosis, all these things which can help you with body image alongside your weight loss or weight gain or whatever it is where you might want recomposition, nutrition support. So if you want anything from me, all of my details are in the description box, so website, email, all of that. But if it's not me, someone else that you can talk to, even a therapist to help you, someone who works in that field and can help you. And my next tip is to say I approve of myself 100 times a day. Now you're going to think, I can't do that 100 times, that's so many. But I bet you say negative things over 100 times a day. Just think when you're sitting down and you go, ooh, don't like that roll, ooh, that feels a bit tight, you walk past the mirror, ooh, I've got a wrinkle there, ooh, I don't like this. So how I recommend doing it is every time you say a negative, say afterwards, I approve of myself. And if you don't like I approve of myself, another one which is really good is I am who I am, and that is enough. I am who I am, and that is enough. Or I approve of myself. And that is so important, because the more that you learn to love yourself and your body, you'll actually end up being healthier, because you'll put in good stuff into your body because you respect it and you want to look after it. So that was my next tip. Now, my next point is something that I've learned over the last year, and I think it is so important, and I don't think many people think about this, but to stop criticising other people's figures and shapes. Because whenever you're criticising someone else's figure or shape, it's actually a reflection of yourself and your own insecurities. So you shouldn't be looking at other people and what they're doing and saying, oh, they're too skinny, or they're too big, or they look horrible, I don't like this about them. Focus on yourself and not other people. It's other people's bodies, it's their business. You know, what they do with them, it's not to do with you. And by you criticising other people, you're putting negative energy into the world. You're not doing any good by criticising someone. And actually, a lot of the time, there's reasons why people look the way they do. You know, women suffer from endometritis or PCOS, which affects their weight. I was anorexic, so that was why I was skinny, but I bet you a lot of people walk past me and would go, oh, look how thin she is, but don't realise I've got a mental health issue. A lot of obese people suffer from emotional eating and binge eating disorder, so it's not as simple as just stop eating or eat less. There's a lot more going on in their mind. Some people can't afford good food or the gym, whatever it might be. They've got bad genetics. Maybe their parents were obese, so it's been passed down to them. There's so many variables. So stop criticising others and looking at other people's bodies, and focus on yourself. Now, my last tip is to take time for you, to practice self-care and self-love. Really, really important that you do this. And some recommendations that I think would be good for you are doing start with 5 to 10 minutes of meditation a day. Now, if you suffer with meditation in the sense you don't know how to do it and you struggle, there are apps you can use. There also are a lot of guided meditations on YouTube, and one that I've used is called Vipassana. So Vipassana is where you focus on the breath. So you go out, hold, in, hold, out, and you can do counts. And you're just focusing on the breath, counting, hold, and you count the numbers. So that is what you're focusing on, rather than thinking thoughts. But like I said, there's lots of different meditations out there. I also do guided meditations with my clients, if you're interested in that. And another thing is breath work. There's loads of really good apps and things you can do for breath work. So there's the Breath Guy, and I personally do Wim Hof. Wim Hof is really, really easy to follow. You do 40 big inhales and exhales, so like that, and then on the 30th hold, I think it's 30, you don't need to check, you do, yeah, it's 30, you hold for as long as you can, so you go on the exhale, and then you hold it as long as you can, and then you breathe in for 15 seconds, and then you do it again, and you repeat it 3 to 4 times. And they haven't done a lot of, they're trying to do more studies on this, but obviously it's difficult, but they've done quite a few studies on Wim Hof, and they've put things on your head to measure the brain waves, and there are different brain waves. We have alpha, beta, gamma, so they're different states of consciousness, and they can see that by doing breath work, it changes your brain waves. So it's amazing that it can do that just doing breath work. And if you think of that, if it's changing your brain waves, it's going to make you feel more relaxed, more calm. They're also doing more studies to see what is being released in our brain when we do these sort of things, as in it's positive things. So I definitely recommend doing that, some of that every day. And whilst you're doing meditation and breath work, do visualizations of your future. Visualize what you're going to have, what you're going to look like, what it's going to feel like, whatever it is that you want. And also affirmations. Affirmations are really, really good to do when you're meditating or doing your breath work. And another form of self-love is going for a walk in nature. Listen to your favourite podcast, or leave your phone at home and just connect with nature, or going for a faster walk, or even dancing, just letting yourself loose, having a nice little dance by yourself in your room. Switching your mind off, switching your phone off, having you time. Obviously there's also things like having a nice bath, putting a face mask on, a hair mask on, all these things that just make you feel better, that aren't to do with how you look. Now, working out is obviously another one of these, but you've got to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So working out to make you feel good, so releasing those endorphins. For me, that is a massive form of self-care. When I'm stressed, I love working out, but it's got to be, I'm not working out because I want to like lose weight at that time. I'm doing this for me. So it doesn't have to be going to the gym. It could be a dance workout or some Pilates or some yoga, like anything like that that makes you feel good and releases some endorphins. Going for a jog instead of going sprinting as fast as you can, just a light jog around the park. Get that heart rate going, get the blood going around your head, get the oxygen to your brain to make you feel better. And obviously another form of self-care is getting life coaching or therapy. And like I said earlier in this video, I can offer that, but there are lots of other therapists out there too. But that is a form of self-care. You're spending money to improve yourself and make you a better person. And I personally love therapy. Like, it's an hour where you get to speak to someone who doesn't have an opinion on you, isn't going to judge you, and can help you feel better, and you can just work on you. Because obviously when you talk to friends or your partner or someone, they are going to talk to you about them, but when you have therapy, it's all on focusing on you and making your life better. And that is a form of self-love and self-care, so I highly recommend that as well. Or getting a personal trainer, someone to help you improve your mindset and make you feel better. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope it helped you. If it did, please give me a like, leave me a comment if you've got any questions or any other tips you want to share or questions or anything, and don't forget to also click that subscribe button just below the video. I really appreciate all the support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!